£1 million banked business
that you own entirely, pays you a salary, and in the meantime it's just building up a reserve.
And that's exactly it. We don't want it to let it drop below 200 grand pipeline ever. It's now about what, 2? So
You can have a lifestyle business, or you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
do you have the balls to take that
Exactly.
step? You know you can do it.
Yeah.
It's just, have you got the ability to just say yes?
it was scary, don't get me wrong, it was scary. You fully own your own house. I bought a new house in that time. We both bought new cars.
Yeah, we've done loads. We've done loads.
Holidays.
Last year was a big year.
That's a credit as well, is that you're not just looking at making money, going on holiday, buying cars. It's the bigger future planning that's coming from you guys as well.
We don't just want to be idiots. We want to have a life in 10 years' time where we can really have built something.
So, gents, £1 million banked business plus whatever else you did outside of Avocado as well. So it's probably a more like £1.1 million banked business for your company. First of all, from me and from Mike, unbelievably well done. Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you guys get there?
Don't know.
How did it happen? Hashtag how did it happen?
Hashtag how it happened. Whenever I'm talking to anyone that's thinking of doing the same thing as us, obviously face-wise, we blew up very quickly. We went into, and I say the same to everyone, we went out all guns blazing. We had a good market that we were going into, let's face it, let's be honest. And Dan and I are very well known in the areas that we're covering. So quite simply, we took off straight away in the sense that people saw us, people saw what we were doing, people that used us before would only go to us. So that had that momentum quite quickly, didn't it? I'd say. And that just blew up because of the market and our tenacity. And I think I put it in my post on social media, but the fact that we said to you guys, if we do this, we're fucking going for it. We're going for it.
There's 3 videos since launching Avocado that have gone viral. One of them was your suit to hoodie Friday night.
You know what? Yeah, I remember that. I remember the film.
Felt like that was the start of everything.
It was.
It's one way to enter, isn't it?
Yeah. It was so exciting. I remember doing that, thinking this is going to be crazy. Like, how's it going to go?
Yeah.
And I think it dropped. Was it set? What was the day we went live?
Friday the 15th of September.
Yeah.
There you go.
It literally was, wasn't it? And it was, the clock was ticking in the video. It's 5 o'clock.
5:59.
We were actually counting down the clock because
Yeah.
obviously our previous employer, we couldn't be seen to be doing anything until
No.
they were finished for the day.
Yeah.
We were like, come on, bring on 6 o'clock. And we were sat there going, tick,
You literally went tick, boom.
And we were thinking, how's this going to go? We don't know. Like, is my phone going to be like, oh, no one's seen it? You know, like crickets in the background. But
it was funny.
like mates were going, oh, what's this? People are going, this we do it. And before you know it, was shared. And it had thousands of views straight away. And I think,
Over 100,000 views plus at the end. It was mad.
I think from our point of view, that gave us that energy to go, right, we're fully going now. Let's do a remake. And it was, we should. But it was the next morning that we were ready to start filming, and we were just started doing content. And I remember looking at Neil going, what should we do? It's like, I was like, I just go, let's just do it. Let's go live. And I just went live and I was like, all right.
We don't know if anyone's watching, but here we are.
And that's the sort of attitude we kept with it, was just anything we could try something different, make sure we're doing something, maybe pushing the boundaries of what, trying to be completely different and ourselves, not us, but just making sure we're expressing everything who we are. And I think I think we were lucky to be able to start at the time we did, because the market had picked up with the no stamp duty and so forth.
Yeah.
But what that allowed us to do, I don't think we were lucky in terms of our success till now, though. I think that allowed us to get a name for people to see what we could do. It gives us an opportunity to list a few houses and show how we work and the way we do things.
Yeah, great.
And we've been able from that to build a platform and grow from it. And our main thing is word of mouth, isn't it? It's just all repeat business, people who know each other.
And that's the thing,
we care.
we're busybodies, aren't we? Let's face it, we're socialites and have been for a long time. So the networking side of it, all of that has helped, but it's like any estate agent, you're known in your area, aren't you? You should be, and you should have some bloody friends, let's face it.
That can start you off, can't it? But you have to deliver as well.
Oh, 100%.
Because you're 2.5 years into your business now, you have to deliver to get the recommendation.
I think that, like I said, I think that blew us up quickly. We got recognised quickly, but the the business morals and our ethics of no bullshit, and we're just two cheeky chappies that comes across. And I think that we quite quickly found our identity as estate agents that are just two cheeky chaps that want to have fun, give you the right advice. We know what we're doing. I've done this for 14 years. I know what I'm doing. Dan knows what he's doing. And we'll tell you honestly, no bullshit, tell you what it is. We'll help you. People love the fact that we are actually sincere as well. We get, like, I was in a foul mood yesterday. I was in a really good mood all day. And then a couple of hours towards the end, I had 8 different people emotionally going in on me, emotionally investing, and I'm emotionally invested in them. So you become, you get, your emotions go up and down with it.
I get that feeling.
People, we get it all the time, but people see that. We're not just going, oh, sorry, madam, boom.
Yeah.
We're actually going, what can I do to help? I'll be there. How can I make this better for you? What can I do? Can I come around and help in any way, shape or form?
Yeah, it's not a KPI. It's not a transaction. It's not even a client. It's a person.
Yeah,
that's the facts of it.
Makes
isn't
the
it?
biggest difference.
Yeah.
Makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, and I think that got recognised quite quickly in terms of our sincerity and the fact that we do deliver on what we say.
I said that shows the ultimate goal end thing for all of this is that we do actually deliver. So the cool thing is as well, we can say everything, we want to fluff it around. We sell. Yeah, people's houses.
We sell houses.
Really
we do a good job
at a very good price. And we see them through. We don't have many fall throughs. They go through really well. Everyone's really happy, and that's why we've almost got 100 5-star Google reviews with none less than that. So I think we should be proud about how we got to that as well. It
makes me smile whenever we get a Google review, because it's like, you think about what we used to do. We were incentivized, and you'd scrape in the barrel for anyone that was even remotely happy with what you'd done.
Yeah.
And now we're like, do you mind leaving us a Google review? Yeah. And we get people going, let us know where we need to leave your review.
And we made a lot of friends as well.
Oh yeah,
loads of friends. So some of the clients we've had, and we're still in the WhatsApp groups.
We went for a family dinner with someone. We thought it was a big do.
Yeah.
And we turned up, and it was just the lady and her 2 daughters. We were like, don't know what kind of party this is, but I'm here.
No, we did. We sold our house to this lady. We did such a good job for her, and it was like an emotional thing for her leaving. And her granddaughters that came round as well, and the daughter and stuff. And we were invited. And it was like quite intimate. Yeah. But we were invited to that. That was a real big moment. That was about a year and a half ago, actually. It was only about a year into us doing it, and that was a big moment. It was like, actually, still don't see us as like, oh, that's just who sold your house. So I'd date whoever at that age.
The estate agent.
We get one of our clients from Reading. Because obviously when we first, like anyone, when we first started, we would do business anywhere, and then you sort of come more concentrated into your area and growing within that area.
Yeah.
But we had one of our clients in Reading. He still messages. We bumped into him in the restaurant in Reading a little while ago.
Yes.
He's like, you guys need to come around for my wife's butter chicken.
Yeah.
And sit out and have a drink. And he's got this wicked place that overlooks all the back of Caversham. You can see Reading Festival, basically. Yeah. It's like, come and have a drink with us. My wife keeps asking me when you come over for butter chicken.
Clients for life, isn't it?
Yeah. I got invited to Canada today. Serge came and collected something from one of my neighbours. Sold his place, and he came to collect some post, and he was like, "Don't forget, you're going to come to Canada, and we did the skidooing." I was like, "Yeah, I love a holiday. Let's go."
Yeah. You are talking to the right guy.
I said to him, "I was like, just for the record, I'm not taking the piss here. I will be there.
Don't tell Dan. Don't tell Dan."
How many flights have you been on since you started Avocado?
You know what? I think I should be best to answer this, because Neil was probably more well travelled than me anyway. Before we started Avocado, he'd been trips around the world.
I like a trip.
I've been on more aeroplanes, since I started Avocado than I did in my previous 30. Don't know how old I was in 32 years.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Dan liked to holiday to Butlins once in a while, whereas I like traveling the world. And
that's an amazing statistic, because you work harder and longer now than you did employed. And a lot of self-employed agency models, they'll try and give you the whole lifestyle spiel whilst making 6 figures. It's not quite as rosy as that. You can have a lifestyle business, or you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Getting the two together is very, very tricky. I've probably taken about 14 days off in 3 years whilst we've built the business. But to take more flights to go away in 2.5 years than you did in previous 32 says a lot about how what the struggle was like when you were employed, but it says as much about now how you're able to work hard and play hard. Yeah,
Work hard, play harder.
Do you remember when we were setting this up and we were toying with the idea of leaving where we were before? And the only thing that I said I'm going to miss, we would win holidays all the time because we were always winning awards.
Yeah.
And I said to Dan, I was like, "Oh mate, are you sure we want to do this? Like, I get to go to the Caribbean or on a safari every year." And then when we started this, we're like, "Fuck that, we're going on holiday every month."
Quite literally.
Let's go.
Yeah. Just to put it out there, by the way, we don't go on holiday like every month. But
No, every other.
How it works is to say the point you were making is that we do work more intense. I think that's pretty much
Evenings and weekends.
Absolutely.
the time you're working is a lot more intense, more focused. You're actually getting a lot more done in the time you're working. You're working a lot of days. We'll work any day of the week, but it does mean that if we want to go away, for a long weekend every month, fly out the country and do something nice, we can do it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
held
it's that
back.
nice balance.
Just and it's nice to be able to go. Can I afford a holiday in 3 years' time and get the time off work at Christmas because they won't allow me to have the Christmas period off?
Yeah, because someone in the office is already off. Yeah.
I mean, I would say, I don't know, it's a random stat, but I reckon it's got to be somewhere around 90% of estate agents from launch to £1 million banks wouldn't have done it as fast as you guys have done it. And that includes, London agents and everyone. So in two people doing it without the traditional model, without the high street office, without the huge marketing budget that would have gone into some of them, what would you say has been like your proudest moment? What's the one thing that kind of it was just a trigger moment and it's emotionally ingrained in you? You mentioned about the family that invited you around, but more personal to that, what would be kind of that proudest moment? Neil, what would you say?
Our first exchange was pretty special.
Yeah,
I'd say that was when it was like, because it was big. It was big. Thank you, Pete.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was probably that where we thought, right, we've got our feet moving. Now
big moment, isn't it?
Big moment. And I was talking to one of the avocado business partners that's just started, and he's sort of going, I need to get that first exchange. As soon as you get that first exchange, you're like, cool, right, I've got this, I can continue. And then it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. Since then, everything's just got better, bigger, happier. It's great. Yeah.
How about you?
Mine are, I've got like 3 micro ones, but they're on the same thing, if that makes the theme. So yours is the first exchange, which I completely get. And also, I think when you're running the business now as well, we obviously look at our pipeline very differently to what you did when you worked before. So you know that's potential business that's going to be coming in the next maybe 3 to 4 months if you're processing it. So when we got our pipeline to 50,000, I remember it was like, we're never going to drop below this. And then it was like,
we
got to 75 originally. Just 30 grand. We originally set a plan in our heads. We were like, if we had a pipeline of 30 grand, continuously rolling for the rest of our life even, we would be fine. We're like, we're going to be okay. We're going to do more than we did before. We're going to be fine. And it was like, it's 50. It's like, well, God, no, it's now got to 75 grand. Never going below 75 grand.
It's so funny.
And then I still remember I got
Neil, we can't let it get below that. And even to this day, even now, like Brendan, what is that now? He's like, we can't let it get below this. I'm like, are you mad? You know what we've...
Yeah, but that's why it works, because you need that. I'm that sort of
What's
person.
the number?
You need to buy them a permanent marker.
Well, we got to 100. We got to 100 grand. We're like, you can never go below 100,000 dollars. And actually, it never has since.
No, it hasn't.
Probably about month 7.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
Building business, which is insane. Now, we don't want it to let it drop below 200 grand pipeline ever.
It's now about what, 2?
So it could be more, couldn't it, at the moment with what we've got to go in. And it's about balancing, isn't it? As long as we're then continuously having the right amount come out monthly that we need to, and we're replacing that with the same amount or more, I can't see why a pipeline should ever diminish.
You should
down so much, because you should be able to put in what you're putting out. The way that we work, we try to even it that way.
I think we've now got, which is really nice, that consistency, which is quite exciting. I know we've spoken about it, like the likes of Will and Mike that have got that consistency, Ellen and Sanjay that have got that consistency in building monthly payments where they're just going, right, I'm paying myself a salary.
Yeah.
I'm paying myself comfortably. And that's
they've got the reserves to do it.
Exactly. And you're not going, right, can we afford to pay ourselves this month or anything like that? It's quite exciting to
And it's not paying yourself off a completion anymore.
No,
Your business that you own entirely pays you a salary, and in the meantime, it's just building up a reserve.
And that's exactly it. Yeah. When we first started, obviously you're like, okay, that bit of money come in. Should we take a bit of money? So when you do it on it, you have to take that bit. But you get to that point where there's enough in there to pay yourself for the next, whatever it may be, 6 months.
Dan still panics every day.
And do it.
Look at our business account. How can you panic?
I just
got a 200 grand pipeline. It's more than most big town high street offices right now.
I said to him while we were sat outside, there was something that we're in the process of sorting out, and there's a difference of about 500 quid. He goes, we can't do it. We cannot do it. I'm like, are you sure?
I think
we can.
I think I was going to say something and I forgot.
In terms of, so going back to actually the difference of being employed versus running a limited company, is there anything in particular that surprised you, about how it works, the mechanisms? Because you are wrapped up in a bubble, aren't you, in agency? You kind of like work the numbers, constantly with a carrot sat there, climb the ladder, here's the carrot, kick up the arse, talk about last month's figures, blah, 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 blah.
Check
Always
out.
being pulled back a little bit, and they never open up the sort of can of worms about limited business.
So many things.
I love it. That's my world, is like the business aspect. I love anything to do with businesses. So actually learning it and then putting it into play was awesome. That was like it's been my hobby basically.
Yeah.
It's been great.
For me, there's so much I didn't really realize, or I was naive to, because you're put in. So when you work for a corporate agent or whatever it might be, whatever line of business you're in, you sort of get sung the song, don't you, to go along the way they want you to, because they want you to do what they're doing so they get that money at the top. And you suddenly realize, actually, you always used to get asked that question, if your name was above the business, how would you go and do it? And now we can go and do it that way. And then you start to see the differences and the benefits. Like with, for example, solicitors. We all know we're in a world where if you set something up, there is a referral. It's pretty obvious. Most people know it. Where when you work for another company, you get a £10 voucher. And I was, for example,
I was telling someone about this the other day, and they
for example, yeah, I won the annual conveyancing award, and I won it every quarter, and I don't know how many I did.
I remember it was every quarter when I worked at the same business as you. It goes, there goes Dan Salisbury's collector's award. It was every quarter. It wasn't some of them.
It's just there were so many, you get paid at £10 in, was it Amazon vouchers or whatever it may be. At that time, you're going in and like, I got £90 at vouchers. I'm going to go buy something. You end up buying something shit you never use, throw away anyway. It was a waste of time. Not that you can invest anything with that money, you can do anything with it. It was just you were excited. Now we get to choose the solicitor we work with. We're not forced to sell a solicitor that's poor, because that's what we were doing. You were put into a box where you had to sell one solicitor that was just rubbish, right?
Yeah.
We've gone through quite a few, and we found some fantastic people we work with now, and they genuinely care, and do a really good job. Exactly. And for each lead that completes, we get £250. Now I only have to do 4 of those to what I would have earned potentially in a year at my own company, and then we're doing 4 of those a week. So that's the difference. And actually, then there's a number of things like that. So there's different revenue streams you can build in. But when you're in your other company, you didn't realize any of that. You didn't realize how hard you were being pushed to work.
You don't realize that business referral fee. That business was taking a referral fee of £500 a shot. So £490 was going into the business, £10 to the person.
If you targeted, how many are you going to get this month? And they'll target you so that they're obviously owning the chunk of the pie, which is ridiculous. I think I was going to say another exciting thing for me was like putting stuff into play. And I know we always sit around the table or sit in the office and go, wouldn't it be good to do this? I think the exciting thing about running your own business is if you have an idea, crack on and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, and I think I've spoken to you guys about it before, I remember vividly going to a manager's meeting, spending the day in a room where we had guest speakers coming in and out. Then you had to come up with what was going to revolutionize, if that's the right way of saying it, the company. And my team that I was on won with an idea, and everyone was so excited about it. Still never fucking seen that come into play.
Never happened. Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
And the board of directors was sat there going, yeah, that's the way that it should be. And is still to this day. It's similar to what we do, but it's how they should have gone.
We had the same competition years ago, and it was all the branch managers were asked to go and find something to bring to the business, to the business plan and kind of managers meeting. And at the time, I'd gone to London, and I'd spent a bit of time working around London. I kept seeing all these relet boards, and I was like, relet boards, what's the deal there? I wasn't doing lettings at the time, so I brought back to the managers meeting. I looked at it, and I worked out with the rental portfolio that what they were doing in London is they were putting boards up for 2 to 4 weeks every time they did a relet. And I worked out based on the portfolio and the amount of relets we were doing, it would add our board presence an extra 25% every single month. And it was massive. And everyone was like, wow, that's still no relet board still now. There's your market share. You're obsessed about. You just don't put the things into play. It was crazy, really.
I love it. Like, obviously, if we ever have an idea, we just crack on and do it. And some of them sink, some of them swim.
You find out. You find out. Yeah.
Seeing how things have evolved as well with some of the things we've done. Like, I remember the first video.
Weight in the skincare.
Yeah. I think like with Mike helped us do the first video, one of the first ones. And when we look back on it, do you remember which one? Remember the little apartment?
Moorhen Drive.
Moorhen. No, it wasn't Moorhen. It was in.
It was a little early, was it? Yeah.
Fleetham Gardens.
Yeah.
Measham Way.
Yeah. And we did a practice video.
I remember that popping up.
And you look back at that video, and like, right then, it was crap when you think about what
the evolution.
We're doing now and being part of that evolution, which is really cool. That's just like seeing how we've now been able to afford little things. Like, that's another point to your question, actually, when we could suddenly afford our own gimbal, and we went out and bought, our own Rode mics. We weren't little things like that. We built our box up, and you guys supplied us with a drone because we did well one quarter or something. I can't remember what it was.
We do well every quarter.
I think you hit one of the caps, didn't you? You hit one of the trigger caps.
Yeah, which are really cool, and we love those caps, don't we? I bought mine at Watermiddler, and we got us a drone for it, and now we've gone out and bought our own drone, which is like even like the next level up. There's little things like that. It's like, this is cool. Like, this is our stuff. It's how we can make it
evolution of Dan and Neil.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all about milestones. It's all about progress, and it's all about having control on exactly the way you want to live things. And you can orchestrate how you pay yourself, what goes on from an accountancy point of view, what year, what's going in. Within reason, you've got so much more fluid control on things. And I was listening to someone the other day that was talking about, anyone employed is, whichever way you look at it, is paying over 60% tax. So a lot of people have got big aspirations in agency to get to that area manager role or that big office and earn 6 figures. The 6-figure salary in agency is a big milestone for people to get to. But the reality is you're only living off 40 grand of that anyway, after you pay tax on yourself, and then the VAT that you're paying tax on, and then all the NI that comes into everything as well. It's a real game changer because you're totally in control. We were talking off camera a minute ago, and you needed a filing cabinet, and Neil went, brilliant, I need a filing cabinet. So the business just bought a filing cabinet, and everyone won.
Yeah, and there's certain things, you learn that you need. Like, we needed equipment to work from home. So we both work from home, so we needed Macs and things.
Like those new screens.
Yeah. But we needed the Macs, didn't we? Let's be fair, to edit all our pictures and things, and that's just nice, something to have at home. I'm not really low at you. When I worked for my old company, there was absolutely no way I reckon my whole career. Not just that, in my whole life, I worked there for over 10 years. I probably couldn't have been able to afford to buy an Apple Mac computer for my house at home. I only had enough money to get cheesy chips on the weekend, like the mortgage. It was tight though. I look back now and think with the cost of living as well at the minute, it's not easy out there. We feel the pinch. You see it. Expensive to buy food and run your house, everything. I don't know how they do. Genuinely don't know how I would have been surviving now.
Where were we the other day? And you went, oh yeah, we went out for dinner. And credit to our friend, he paid for us to go out for a nice dinner as a well done for hitting that milestone. So we went for a little bit before.
That's a good friend. I saw where you went.
Nice guy. He's a good friend.
Wow. Here's a shout out if he sees it. Mr. Ryan, you are a legend.
He has no social media, so he won't. He will never see it. But no, he credit to him. Like when we were setting this up, just before he moved away, he's that kind of friend, just pushing. So he treated us, and fair play to him. But we were sat having a beer before either at the time, and we both just went, look at us now. We were sat having that beer, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we were sat there and went, look at us now. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're sat in Marlow, having a beer in the sunshine. Look at what it's a complete lifestyle change.
That was a moment, actually. We look back on the last couple of years.
It was exciting.
How did we get to
like, I'm mega proud, and he gets annoyed with me because I get excited every day about shit. Like every day I'm like, today's a new day, let's fuck it up. Let's make some goals and smash it up. I say it all the time, this is just the beginning. Just the beginning.
Literally, we're scratching the surface, right? We're not even 3 years in.
Yes. There's so much more that comes, and you talk about, your first video that you guys did together. You look at, we just had the 3-year anniversary for the group. You look at the videos that were being done then, the social media, some of the branding, the websites. We're 3 websites in and 3 offices in. It's unbelievable, really.
Can't wait for the next one.
It's just crazy that the way it's gone. But I still remember you talk about that moment when we sat down with our accountant, probably not the Christmas just gone, but the one before. And he quite literally said, you two need to start spending some money. That didn't he? He's like,
you need to start acting, not at least like living like the directors that you are.
Yeah. Like £1 million plus business. Start actually living like that, because we were still very much in reserves, weren't we? We were keeping it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We saw it moment, isn't it? We can appreciate that, because our accountant, before the end of our tax year bit that runs up, I get confused how it runs. It's like 3 different years.
The Queen, he's got 3 birthdays.
We're really learning how to run it.
No, and he said there's no point you being in a position where you're actually, as a business, taking this money in. You're not going to work this hard and not actually live for it. You only live once, so you need to start, like you said, similarly, start doing things and spending. So, I'm quite excited. I'm going to get a new car next week.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday next week.
Surprise.
Our own journey throughout that time as well. You fully own your own house. I bought a new house in that time. We both bought new cars.
Yeah, we've done loads. Last year was a big year, and I think
big year.
That was epic. And then I remember the accountant saying the same, and he was like, right, eventually you're going to look at it and go, well, I can afford to pay myself more. Your lifestyle is going to change. So you want to pay yourself a better salary. So now we do that as well. And it's exciting to know that, again, that's just the beginning. And you look at 2.5 years ago, a complete difference in everything.
Yeah. It's been a game changer, hasn't it? And, being the man that kind of sees the money all coming through, Mike, it's something that he sees. Yeah,
100%.
He sees them. I mean, you've never seen a guy more happy than Mike when he's paying someone their commission. He's like, oh, one's in, bang! How fast can I do it? 3 seconds, done.
I like the fact that he chases us if we've let an invoice.
Where's your invoice?
Sorry, invoice me now.
You are quick.
Which is really cool. But I think one thing that I can probably guarantee, or one thing that I would expect effectively off the pipeline conversation we've had, is that the next £1 million will come quicker.
Yeah, I'd agree. I know.
Yeah, I think so.
We hope so. Yeah, we always look at it and go, is it tough? But you look at the figures that we're still doing. We're just working harder.
Definitely working harder. Definitely doing more, because the business continues to grow, even in the market that might be a bit more difficult. But I want to working smarter, because we're now in a position where time is money as well. So we've started to outsource some bits. We can get some more support to give us more of our free time. So we're in a position where we're actually trying to evolve how we work to make us more efficient for our clients, even better. So it's really cool to have those sort of, rather than the scattergun approach, which is doing as much as you can everywhere. We're now going, well, how can we do a bit better? How can we chop some money out of that and do that better? So it's really cool.
Outsourcing is the best, because you get to that point where you're like, right, for me to grow, I need to trust someone. And I'm really bad at that. I was always really bad going from that stepping stone in the corporate world of assistant manager to then manager. I was always a dog eat dog world to actually, I need my guys to succeed and support them. So that's now in the back of my mind, which is why I love helping other people succeed. And that's just been drilled into my head now. But it's quite nice for us to now go, right, as a business, Dan and I need to grow. Therefore, we need to trust someone to do this. We need to trust someone to do this. And I'm still quite bad at it, because the guy that does some stuff for us, I'm like, can you do it like this? Can you just do it? I used to do it like that.
Yeah, videos and stuff
I'm like,
that,
stop yourself. And I'm like, and he's amazing at what he does. And I'm like, just stop what you're doing. Step back, because it's good. It's decent. It's just not what you're doing. So
leaders versus managers.
Exactly.
That's exactly the way that, And when you look at the tier as well, you look at the sort of entrepreneurial tier. I kind of hate that word, but you come in and you basically make yourself a job, so you're a worker within it, and then you become a manager and you start to outsource and bring things in, and you start to see what you can do, and you've got accountants and you've got videographers and you've got different people that kind of work within your network. And then you start looking at investing, and you start seeing yourself in that true business owner investing setup. And, you guys are at that stage now where you're looking at, right, we've built a stockpile of resources here that we're able to then invest to make our futures better as well. And that's very, very difficult for not just estate agents, but a lot of people that are employed, unless they're in some seriously big, top earning, top 1%, top dog jobs. It's going to be really hard for them to do that unless they're very shrewd. And that's a credit as well, is that you're not just looking at making money, going on holiday, buying cars. Is the bigger future planning that's coming from you guys as well.
We don't just want to be idiots. We want to have a life in 10 years time where we can really have built something.
Well, this is the thing. You look at it, let's face it, in less than 3 years we've set up 3 businesses.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, which is crazy.
Yeah.
When would we have done that before? Which again, I see that as such an exciting thing.
Yeah.
What milestones we're getting to and how we're pushing ourselves. Yes, we're having fun, and yes, we're being flamboyant with certain things, but we're driven as hell.
And you can do that. You've earned the right to do it. So, massive well done from us. And if you've got any questions for Neil or Dan, and you're an estate agent out there and you want to know exactly what's going on, it says weird saying.
I was going to say, that's like saying,
it's just us, you and then you. Well, Dan and Neil. Then please, reach out to those guys or reach out to us. If you want to know how they did it, what they did, and if you want to do it yourself and you think you've got the caliber to go out there and do it in your marketplace, in your area, whether you're a duo or a solo, then get in contact with any of the 4.
There's quite a few out there. And
definitely,
I know, putting it out there, we've had chats with quite a few people where
they just need that push.
And it's,
you got to trust it.
I was talking to someone that knows someone that I was talking to, and he told me about something. I was like, I'm really disappointed because he would be great. And it was just like, you should have done it. Should have done that moment. But
I've had a few of them, and it just comes down to, do you have the balls to take that step?
Yes.
You can do it. It's just, have you got the ability to just say yes?
It was scary. Don't get me wrong. It was scary to start with. I know when we spoke about this before, you and I would, every week it would be me going, Danny, are you sure this is the right thing? And then he'd be going, yeah. And then the next week, Neil, are you sure this is the right thing? Yeah, of course it is. And it just kept crossing. As soon as we got that momentum, we were it's so exciting. And it's, again, I just get excited just sitting there going,
you can tell.
Future.
One thing I'd leave it with is it all starts in the chat. So if anyone is watching this, if it was chat with me or Neil or Mike and Ian, that's how we started. I saw Ian saying on a video, we're going to do something really different. Could I have a car? You want to try? Not quite like that.
Shit video.
Good one, mate.
I'm going to sit on the windowsill going, that might be a bit of me, And there you go. It was a chat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Chat before you know it. Look at where we are. And time flies. It goes quick.
It was a chat in my house and I overheard
it. It's good. It's good. It's the way it starts. We in any area, you need to know a little bit more information to find out if it's right for you, to find out how it works. But if you don't ask the questions, you won't get the answers. You never do it.
I was saying it just costs a beer.
Yeah.
Have a chat with us, buy us a beer.
You might be buying the beers for your buying. Well done on the £1 million. Amazing effort. And we look forward to seeing the next one.
Nice one.